Hi, everyone. It's a real honor to be here, and I was here 2 years ago when NOAA started, and Marco had approached us beforehand, and we didn't know who Marco was, and he said, "No, I'm starting this fantastic conference, can you come and take part?" And so we did, and it was about the size of this stage. It wasn't very large. So to come here and see the scale and what he's achieved is absolutely spectacular. So let me tell you quickly about Conduit. We're the world's largest network of publishers built on our platform who develop both browser, mobile, and website solutions now. We've got more than 260,000 different publishers, and through them we now reach more than 250 million active users a month. And just to give you an idea of distribution, we get more than 20 installations in our browser side of the business a second. So the company's been around 2005. We're profitable and continue to grow rapidly. So what is it that we actually do? This year has actually been a very big year for the company. When I presented here last year, all we could talk about was the browser side of the business. And what we do is we provide tools which help publishers develop better engagement with their consumers, which they then distribute through their channels. So Conduit doesn't actually do distribution itself. We provide the tools which help publishers get applications into the hands of their consumers. So it might be browser toolbars, it could be single add-on solutions in the browser world. We have the new thing, which is our mobile platform, which enables any publisher to build once in a drag-and-drop interface their native code smartphone app, which will then run on the iPhone, Android, Windows Phone 7, BlackBerry, Symbian, and Bada. And that is taking off really well as well. And we have also acquired, and we're very excited about that, a company called Wibia. And in fact, Draw, the founder, is presenting here tomorrow, and he's much better at this than me. They have a website solution, which is a JavaScript toolbar, which is placed on their site. Now, across this platforms, what is being driven here is a marketing and community challenge of all of these publishers. Whether you're a games company looking to drive greater engagement, help with the conversion funnel, or you're a football team looking to sell tickets, in the end, they're leveraging us to develop that engagement. And then what we did was we tied all of these publishers together into a marketplace through the network so that content and functionality can be traded amongst the various participants. And that's how we make our money. We give all the tools away for free, but when publishers have apps which are picked up by other publishers or end users, and they are buying stuff, viewing ads, or anything else that is generating revenue, Conduit facilitates the process and takes a cut of the revenue that is generated. The other thing that we do, which is very important and is increasingly a problem in the industry, is that there are so many different platforms out there in the apps business. And we simplify it so that the publishers only have to worry about their content and functionality. They don't have to worry about all the complexities of making apps run on different browsers, different operating systems, different mobile phone devices, etc. And that is a big piece of the puzzle as well, and ultimately also all the tools that we build around this to make the system work. So Conduit has grown very quickly. We've certainly doubled our size pretty much every year. We've more than doubled our revenue every year, and we've more than doubled our profits every year. We continue to be very excited by the growth that we see around the world. So in any case, what I thought I would do is, to the topic, which is making money with apps, is instead of talking just about how Conduit does it, talk about the models that we see which are working out there that publishers are using on our platform to make money themselves. Because in the end, when they make money, we make money. So first of all, I thought sort of quickly get out of the way what an app is. Most people assume that apps these days are just things that are on a smartphone. We don't think so. We think that they're on browsers, whether they are full-blown toolbars, they are single-button solutions through Chrome extensions, Firefox add-ons, etc. Those are apps. Obviously, in the mobile world and tablets, all of these are apps. And what an app is, in our view, is the contained packaging of content and functionality in a streamlined interface which is controllable by a user which they install. And obviously, this market has taken off big time. So what is the first thing that we think is the most important? And we're always constantly amazed. And remember, we deal with more than 260,000 different publishers. What we see the big mistake is, and it's that most people who build apps don't put all the effort up front in worrying about data. They don't actually measure enough. If you don't measure everything in this game, you will not succeed. There are two things. One is that most people get too busy. They only worry about the user interface, the functionality, what have you, that is interface between the app publisher and the consumer. Or, more often, they assume they know what to measure. People make assumptions of what the important metrics are in the conversion funnel, user flow, etc. The reality is that most people get it wrong. So the trick is that you measure absolutely everything. And if you measure everything, then you have some chance of succeeding. The second piece is that you have to worry about the infrastructure that you have when building these things in order to be able to iterate. It's no point finding out that you've got the wrong business model, the wrong UI, what have you, if you can't then actually change the model quickly. And when I mean quickly, I mean overnight. So the investment that people, the brain power, the thinking that you need to put in at the beginning is absolutely critical. Business models is a big thing. A lot of apps don't make any money. They have no business model yet. But we see an awful lot of success with basically three models that are out there. Number one is that you can sell things to people. You get someone, they go into the App Store, they buy Rovio for 99 cents, and everyone's happy. You can do that with a bunch of software functionality, and it works well in the mobile and the tablet devices because iPhone broke the back of this. In the browser world, it doesn't work. Trying to sell apps in the browser world is pointless because you won't sell anything. The second model is freemium. Now, freemium is really fascinating, and we've had lots of companies here today go on about it, people like AVG, Big Point Games, etc. And that is that you give it away for free in order to get as much distribution as possible and try to convert people as they go through the experience to upsell them to the better version, get the virtual currency for the game, whatever it might be. We also see this with a bunch of service-related companies that are doing well, particularly leveraging our network. We have people who have managed to get more than 85 million installs of games through our system, which they then use to convert the users who they are engaging with into some sort of paid model. The one that everyone always ignores, though, which can be very, very, very profitable and powerful, is the free version. And this is where you just give it away. In the end, Conduit is a business where we give it away, and yet we do quite well. And what you do in order to make money here is that you associate the benefit that you give the customer with something else which makes money. So that could be advertising. That's the most obvious one. But there are a whole host of other things that you can do in partnership with other companies which have a business model but don't have the distribution. But instead, if you can give them the distribution, they will pay you handsomely for it. What's this one? I've forgotten the slide. Oh, there we are. So distribution, in the end, is everything in this business. Conduit lives or dies by distribution. Obviously, word of mouth is a key thing. Try to get your consumers to do it yourself. You can obviously buy the distribution. You can buy that through Google, you can buy some through Conduit, you can buy through all sorts of different platforms out there like Facebook, etc. The big one which everyone never spends enough time or thought around, though, is leverage distribution. And this comes down to BD. If you actually have creative lateral thinkers in your businesses who go and work out how to do relationship marketing with third-party companies, they will give you the distribution you're looking for, and you don't have to pay a penny for it. Conduit doesn't buy distribution. We leverage all the companies who are using our platform to get the distribution. If you think like that, you can do amazing things. So, hang on, change slide, here we go. So a few sort of parting thoughts. As I drink here. Data is everything. If you don't measure things, you will fail. We try to measure absolutely everything, and so that we can modify and change our platform, our solutions, help our publishers do things on the fly. Work out what your business model is. It doesn't have to be one of the three, it can be all three. I know, Pogo is a good example of a company that does very well with all three business models. Work out how you're going to get distribution ahead of time. Most companies build the app and then they say to themselves, okay, now how do I get it out there? That's too late, it's all over. You have to think this stuff through right at the beginning and iterate all the time. So, last thing I'll say is that I think I've been talking for a few minutes. In that time, Conduit has had about 150,000 installs. We've had about 600 new publishers sign up with Wibbia, and we've had roughly unique users exposed to Wibbia in the few minutes I've been speaking is about 60,000. And with that, thank you very much.